Hello there. With the Face Clan lifting the major trophy, with Kerrigan finally accomplishing his dream, with the rain going absolutely insane and getting my prediction 100% correct that he's going to get the MVP, we are getting some long awaited news coming out. And apparently, Yekinda and Booster both are benched from Virtus Pro. Well, regarding Booster, it was kind of expected that most likely he's going to be removed due to poor performance. When on the other side, Yakinda, we all know that in the current situation, it is highly unlikely that he's going to stick with that core. And with that said, it's quite obvious that it was time to move on. And so far, we haven't really got any information that could be 100% confirmed. But we have some rumors, and with all these rumors are kind of more or less the same. There are like two, three teams that are in talks with the Yakinda, but I wanted to give my own take, and I have three options for Yakinda, three main options what to do. Well, obviously he knows better than me what to do, and he's gonna make his own decision. But if I was in his position, I would say first of all, I would have to make a career decision on what I want to do in the future. Do I want to stick with the entry frag role with like I'll go first and then you guys trade me, or do I want to take the position of the main star of the team? We all know that Yekinde is highly gifted mechanically. He has a very good game sense as well, but unfortunately, we haven't really got the best out of him as a star player, mostly as entry fragger. So, with that said, my first point is the Yakinda has to make a decision, and based on that decision, I'll give you three options each on what to do in the future. Let's say Yakinda decides to stick with the entry fragger role, then his first and most obvious decision can be accept or deny offer from G2. G2 has a very skilled core. Hunter, Nico, Alexi as IGL has to improve a lot. Also mechanically, Alexi is really poor right now. I'm not sure what's his future gonna look like. Jackie, we all love Jax, but I think we all understand that for this G2 roster to move on, to be a proper contender for the titles, there has to be a change, and Jackie is the first one to go. And Yekinder probably will be the most obvious fit in terms of firepower, but to be honest, I don't really see any need of firepower for G2. What G2 is lacking is a consistency, and they just need a support player because Nico and Hunter they play really good as a stars. They they doing their job. Nico kind of dropped down from his previous results, but still he's doing quite a good job. Monacy proving everyone wrong that he might not be ready, but he's doing great. Alexi is the only one that's causing a lot of questions, and Jackie is a great guy, but we see that he is struggling to find to find the form and be actually on the level that's required to fight for the trophies right now. So this is the first options for this is the number one option for Yakinda right now. But As I said, I don't really see the point of adding more firepower to this roster. Then the second option. The second option is what most people were saying is that he's gonna join Navi, and with the results that we just got at the major, it wouldn't be the worst option. But he's not even gonna be the third star on the team most likely. Well, he will be the third star by the name, but let's assume who can we replace in Navi? It's obviously not gonna be Bit. He's gonna stay. Simple also gonna stay. So Perfector, Perfector is the best support in CIS right now. I doubt they're gonna move him. Boomich, well, he's an IGL. Yes, he has some issues with his wife, and in the current situation, when Navi made the statement that most likely they're gonna part ways with the majority of their Russian players, well, Boomich is kinda probably on the way out. Same for the electronic. He he cannot relocate his family, I guess, and I doubt that Navi gonna extend the contract with him. And most likely, if Yakinda gonna join Navi, I would say possibly there will be a trade for electronic. I don't think there will be any money involved. Most likely, it's gonna be a simple trade, electronic for Yakinda. But also, role wise, I can see Yakinda in this team taking some electronics responsibilities, but role wise, Yakinda is playing completely different positions, and there will be quite an overlap. So this is a second option if we're talking about the entry fragger, and then the third and the final option for Yakinda is Vitality. If we look at Vitality, we see that they are struggling really, really hard to find their form. Zaivo kind of dropped down. Masuta improved a lot. Apex is struggling a lot. Dupree, very inconsistent, has one very good game, then he's playing like Bubsky. Then Magisk, probably the most consistent player in this lineup. He's doing everything that he's supposed to do. Zaivo is, well, he's he's trying to do his best, but when half of the team is not performing, it's kind of hard to play 1v9 every single game. Ask Simple. He knows. So, in terms of the roles, this probably would be perfect fit because right now Misut and Yakinda they share quite a lot of positions, and this won't be the worst option. If I have to rate on a possibility which one is most likely to happen, then I would say Vitality is probably number two, Navi is number three, and G2 is most likely move. So now the second option, the second line of options. If Yekinda decides that he's done with the openings and he wants to take the main star role, I got you another three options for the main star role. And surprise, surprise, my number one option is OG. With OG moving their two players to the bench, it is kind of, I would say, time for them to rethink what they want to do, who they want to move on with. And Flames has to prove himself. Nexa is exactly the type of IGL that would perfectly fit for Yekinda to kind of explore his options and find what will be the huge impact he can contribute to the team. Also, Mantu, there's not going to be an overlap in roles. Flames, I believe right now, Flames can do anything that will be required for the team. He's not ready for the maybe the star role, but I believe right now, if Flames and Yakinda will be on the same team, then Flames can actually learn a lot from Yakinda in terms of entry role, and we can move in this roster Flames to kind of play in the huge entry. Um, the only option over here is Nico, which we don't really know what's gonna happen to him. I think he's also benched. Let me just double check. No info about the benching. But I'll be honest, Nico looks like a weak link, and if we add JKS to this lineup, then we have probably top 8 contender. With this lineup, OG can actually have some really good upsets, and they probably can even win some tournaments. So if they actually do this transfer, then I will say that OG gonna take kind of position of not BAG that was a kind of gatekeeper, but I would say they're gonna take over the position of mouse sports that they were in many years, where they were not the top team, but they were always really close and they could upset any team. And with some good time investment, with some good tactics and some great performances, I believe that if this actually happens, then in 2022, OG could actually win a trophy or two. So if Yakinda wants to go for the star role, then my number one pick is OG. Then the second option. The second option, and for all the boomers that are around, is Fnatic. Yes, this is controversial, but Alex is benched, I guess, out for transfer. And we kind of have Maisie and Crims. If we add Yekinda over here, then Maisie and Yekinda, they will be two players that kind of gonna fight for the star role. But to be honest, they playing completely different game, and Maisie is more or less like a side player, where when Yekinda can be a released player and he can do anything he wants. He can play those rotation spots and everything. But then we're still gonna lack an IGL and probably a sniper. But if we think of the options that are available right now, we can't really get that much. And in this team, this is just gonna be pure headache. Technically, this is possible. You can take a star role, but I doubt the Fnatic gonna sort out their lineup even for the next major. I'm really scared for the Fnatic future in CSGO, because right now, out of all top 30 teams, I would say they are struggling the most. If we put aside the NA teams, which are kind of NA teams, don't really need to talk about them. So yeah, and the third and the last option, if he wants to take a star role, and this one is really hard to accept right now, but in my opinion it is possible with the news that came out during the major. My third option is Cloud9. This is very hard for me since I'm a Cloud9 supporter for a long time. Not Cloud9, but this particular lineup. I've been supporting them since since their early days in academy in the Gambit youngsters. And this is very hard for me because the future of Hobbit is uncertain. And let's say Hobbit gets removed, then there aren't that many options for Cloud9 to actually get a player. And out of all players available, I would say that Yakinda is probably number one option. And if we consider that Cloud9 didn't really pay that much money to get this roster, I would say it could be it could be great addition, and maybe it's gonna be an improvement because right now we have Shiro that's passive OPA, we have Intes that's kind of passive support. He's he's doing everything for the team. Nafani that's trying to take all the entries that he can. He's going full Kerrigan mode. I think he watched way too many demos of Kerrigan. Then we have Axel that is really, really great mechanically, but he's also a passive player. He's not really trying to find a space or entry frags. He's just playing the anchor position. Let's say like the most obvious one is, let's say, Ancient B side or Ancient A when he has to play those. He's not going for the aggressive peaks. He's just holding the angle, trying to kill the first one, then the second one. That's it. He's not going aggressive for the information. That's not his job. And Hobbit, let's say, when they play in vertical, he's the guy that's trying to find a space all the time. But in terms of firepower, if if Hobbit has to leave, and Yakinda would probably be the best option for Cloud9. So these are my thoughts on the recent news. Let me know what you think, and in your opinion, where you agree, where you disagree, and where do you think he should go? What offer he should accept? Thank you very much. See ya.